In 2006, the world was shocked by the sudden and tragic death of the Steve Irwin, also known as the Crocodile Hunter. Irwin was a beloved television personality and conservationist who inspired millions of people around the world with his passion for wildlife. While filming a documentary on the Great Barrier Reef, Irwin suffered a fatal accident that would cut short his life and leave his fans in mourning. In this video, we will explore the tragic story behind Steve Irwin's fatal accident and uncover the events that led to his untimely death. Steve Irwin, also known as the Crocodile Hunter, was a beloved Australian wildlife expert and television personality who dedicated his life to the conservation of animals and their habitats. He was born in 1962 in Victoria, Australia, and grew up with passion for wildlife, which led him to establish the Australia Zoo with his parents in the early 1990s. Stephen Irwin's passion for wildlife and charismatic personality made him an international icon, and he became a household name through his television series, which aired in more than 130 countries. His legacy continues to inspire generations of animal lovers worldwide, and his contributions to wildlife conservation and education remain an essential part of his lasting impact. However, Steve Irwin's life came to a tragic end on September 4, 2006, when he was fatally pierced by a stingray while filming for a documentary on the Great Barrier Reef, Australia. Steve Irwin was born in Essendon, Victoria, Australia in 1962. He grew up around reptiles and developed a passion for wildlife at a young age. In 1992, he and his wife Terry opened the Australia Zoo in Queensland, which has since become one of the most popular tourist attractions in the country. Steve's larger-than-life personality and fearless approach to wildlife conservation made him a household name around the world. He starred in his own television series, The Crocodile Hunter, which aired in over 130 countries and brought him international fame. Steve's passion for wildlife conservation also led him to create the Steve Irwin Conservation Foundation, which works to protect endangered species in their habitats. Despite his fame, Steve remained humble and dedicated to his work. He often said he wanted to inspire people to care about wildlife and protect the environment. Unfortunately, his life was cut short in 2006 when he suffered a fatal accident while filming a documentary on the Great Barrier Reef. The Great Barrier Reef is the world's largest coral reef system and is home to thousands of species of marine life. Steve was filming a documentary for his daughter's television series, Bindi, the Jungle Girl, when he encountered a stingray in shallow water. He approached the stingray to film it, but the animal became agitated and lashed out, striking Steve in the chest with its barb. Steve was rushed to a nearby boat, where efforts were made to revive him, but he was pronounced dead a short time later. The news of his passing shocked the world, and tributes poured in from around the globe. Fans mourned the loss of a man who had inspired so many with his passion for wildlife, and his family struggled to come to terms with their devastating loss. Irwin, who was known for his love of animals and his adventurous spirit, was snorkeling in the shallow waters when he encountered the stingray, which he believed to be harmless. However, the animal unexpectedly struck him in the chest with its barbed tail, causing a fatal injury to his heart. Despite the efforts of his crew and emergency responder, Irwin could not be revived and was pronounced dead at the scene. Stingrays are a type of cartilaginous fish, related sharks and scats, and are found in coastal waters around the world. They have a flattened body shape with a wide diamond-shaped disc that makes up their head and body. Stingrays have a long whip-like tail which contains one or more sharp, barbed spines that can be used for defense. However, they can become defensive if they feel threatened, cornered, or if they are accidentally stepped on. Stingrays are also known to bury themselves in the sand, making it difficult to spot them. It's important to be cautious when swimming in waters where stingrays are present to avoid accidental encounters that could result in injury or harm. Stingray attacks on humans are relatively rare, with only a few documented cases worldwide. However, when they do occur, they can be extremely dangerous and even fatal. According to research, stingrays are responsible for approximately 1,500 injuries to humans every year, with the majority of these being non-fatal. The severity of a stingray injury depends on several factors, including the size and type of the stingray, the location and the depth of the wound, and the victim's overall health. In Steve Irwin's case, the barb from the stingray pierced his heart, leading to his tragic and untimely death. While stingray attacks are not common, it's important to approach these animals with cautious and respect to prevent further accidents. Steve Irwin was known for his adventurous spirit and willingness to take risks, particularly when it comes to handling dangerous animals. Some people have argued that his risk-taking nature may have been to blame for the tragic accident that led to his death. However, others have countered that Irwin was an experienced wildlife expert who understood the risks and took necessary precautions. Additionally, stingray attacks on humans are extremely rare, with only a handful of fatalities ever recorded. It's important to remember that the Irwin's death was a tragedy. It should not overshadow his legacy as a passionate advocate for wildlife conservation and education. The immediate aftermath of the Steve Irwin's fatal accident was met with shock and sadness from his family, fans, and the media. Terry Irwin, Steve's wife, released a statement expressing her deep grief and thanking everyone for their support. The couple's two children, Bindi and Robert, also shared their heartbreak and love for their father on social media. Fans from all over the world mourned the loss of their beloved crocodile hunter, leaving messages and flowers at the Australia Zoo. The media coverage of the Steve's death was extensive, with many news outlets paying tribute to his life and accomplishments. The tragedy served as a reminder of the dangers that come with working closely with wildlife, and also of the immense passion and dedication that Steve had for his work. Steve Irwin's passion for wildlife conservation and education continues to have a lasting impact on the world today. His legacy is evident in the work of his family, who continues to run the Australia Zoo and the Wildlife Warrior Foundation, which supports conservation efforts globally. Additionally, his popular television shows and documentaries continue to educate and entertain audiences around the world, inspiring a new generation to appreciate and protect the natural world. Steve Irwin's enduring legacy is a testament to his commitment to wildlife and his belief in the power of education and conservation to make a positive difference in the world. Steve Irwin was a beloved wildlife expert and conservationist who captured the hearts of millions with his infectious enthusiasm and passion for animals. His tragic death was a devastating loss not only for his family but for the entire world, as he left behind a legacy of education, conservation, and animal welfare. Thank you for watching our video on the tragic story behind the Steve Irwin's fatal accident. Steve's passing was a loss felt around the world. His legacy continues to inspire people to care about wildlife and to protect our planet. We hope that this video has shed some light on the events that led to his untimely death and has given you a greater appreciation for his life and work. Please like and share this video if you found it informative, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one.